Have you ever found yourself in a stressful situation? It could be a job interview or giving a presentation or even having a discussion with your partner about the monthly outgoings. But there's a piece of information, a name or a number or something, and we even have an expression for it. We say, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. But just in that moment when you really need this information that you may have known for years, it's just not available. And we say, oh, my mind went blank. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at why that happens. But more importantly, we're going to look at a process that we can follow to overcome that so that even when we are in a situation of stress or pressure, that we still have our intelligence. From an evolutionary perspective, it's not always clever to be clever. If you're a caveman and you've got a bear coming charging at you and you go, is that a brown bear or is that a grizzly bear? Chances are you're going to get eaten. So the body wants to react in an almost binary form, fight, flight, or the third one is freeze. But for now, we're looking at fight or flight. So fighting the bear, probably not a good option. So we want to run away. And the body instantly recognizes that and kicks the system into action. So it pumps our muscles full of adrenaline and blood. It raises our heart rate, ready for our personal best as we sprint away. But to do that, it also takes blood away and focus away from the systems that we don't need in that moment. Things like our digestive system. That's why your mouth goes dry, because you stop salivating. And then the other thing it does is it takes the processes away from the brain that we don't need, this cognitive thinking piece. The body and the brain are always talking to one another. And one example is when you hear a bang, boom. You're surprised, you feel your fingers tingle, your pulse rate raises, and you very often even go, oh, what was that? And you'll hold your hands to your chest. It's that system, that's the stress shock response. And we're going to use that system, but we're going to use it in reverse. We're all familiar with our heart rate. If we want to go to the gym and we want to be doing level 2 cardio, we've got our trackers on and we're trying to get it to 120 beats per minute. There's a thing called heart rate variance, and that's the bit that happens between the heartbeats. Scientists have discovered that it's the variance between the beats that is responsible for this signal that comes from the body to the brain to switch off cognitive function. So we're going to learn how to control that. And the way we do that is through breathing, not normal breathing. There's a specific type of breathing that we use, and it's got 3 parts that it needs. The first thing is rhythm. Now that can be 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. The numbers aren't actually that relevant. So it could be 4 and 4, 6 and 4, 4 and 6. It doesn't matter. The critical part is that it's the same every time. So it's 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. The next thing that's important is that it's done smoothly. So you're not going, we're trying to get a feeling of circular breathing, so there's no sharp changes. And the third thing we want to do is focus on the heart area, so that as we're doing this breathing, we're setting up a steady, smooth rhythm around the heart area. And what that does is it causes a thing called coherence. And what that means is what's happening between the heartbeats becomes steady. So if we're focusing on the heart and breathing in this rhythmic, smooth way, there are neurons around the heart who communicate with the brain. And what they're saying is, hey brain, everything's fine with the world. Relax. There's no bears. There's no presentations going on. And then the brain goes, okay, if that's the message we're getting from the heart, we can give him back his cognitive function. By using this breathing technique, either regularly throughout the day so that you can get practice, and it can also, that will then bring down your general daily stress levels, or just before that big event, when you're waiting to go on the stage or you're waiting to go into the boss's office to argue why you need a 10% pay rise, then it's not by taking a big breath and crossing your fingers and hoping it's going to be okay. No, it's through this rhythmic, smooth breathing through the heart. So breathe. Breathing rhythmically, evenly through the heart. By practicing this, you'll be able to go into situations where they're genuinely stressful, interviews, presentations. But by telling your body what to do, using your breathing, you'll tell your brain everything's okay, and you will be the smartest person in the room.